G'day ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another recommendations video. This is actually the 6th time I've tried to record this. The amount of nightmares that I've had just trying to organize all of this, navigate this new recording software I recently just bought, as well as set up this mic boom and everything, has been absolutely ridiculous. But enough about my problems. You came here to listen to me ramble about a game for 30 minutes, to which I will most kindly oblige, and I will show you this card game that I have not been able to deal with being without this entire year that I've had it. And that game is Star Realms, as you can see right here. It's quite a lot different than other card games I've played, particularly digital card games such as Hearthstone and even Magic the Gathering, the online version of that. I actually love how this game plays out and how it doesn't have this whole you must buy cards with real money or earn cards over time in order to actually do stuff. No. This is a deck building card game, i.e. all the cards are available to you, but you build your deck as you're playing, i.e. there's a central deck of cards that's got all the different cards that are available in the game, and you slowly build your own deck up from this central deck of cards as you play, and the entire game is centered around that. Now, before we get into a game, a little bit of history behind the developers. This game was developed by White Wizard Games, and I believe they were professional Magic players. I can't really remember that off the top of my head too well, but there is actually a physical version of this card game, so if digital card games aren't your sort of thing, then you can buy this game complete with no lacking features or anything at a lot of brick and mortar stores you might find. Now, as we get into a game here, I'm actually playing the free version of the game just to demonstrate how powerful it is. The full version of the game gives you multiplayer, full access to the campaign. As it is, I've already got one section of the campaign. There's more sections you can get if you have the full version, as well as pass and play. Now, this is really only useful for use on tablets and phones and such, but what it is you can give the your version of the game to someone else so they can play multiplayer against you. Now, this is excellent, so you don't have to buy two versions of the game just to play against your friends and such. I find that was a really nifty little feature, and I quite honestly hope to have more of such value for money features in future games. Anyways, enough about that. Let us get into a game. I don't have... oh yeah, no, full version also includes other difficulty levels, but this game isn't more about skill like you would normally think. It's got a huge amount of luck to it, so even on the easy AI, the AI can still crush you if luck just isn't in your favour. And this game definitely has a lot more of a luck-based component than Hearthstone. Now then, let us begin. Okay then. Now, I'll just go through the HUD, or the actual layout and everything, just to explain it all for you. So this was the middle deck that I was talking about earlier. All these cards up here are what you will build your deck out of. You start off though with 10 cards, 8 of these scout cards and 2 of these vipers. These scout cards have a value of 1 trade on them, i.e. if I play the scout, I will get +1 trade. Now, as you saw, a card lit up here on the board up here. That means because I've got one trade, I can afford that trade bot up there that in itself is worth one trade. You can see up in the top corner there. Viper, if I play it, will give me +1 combat, which will allow me to damage things on my opponent's side of the board, or even the opponent himself. My opponent, as well as myself, both have 50 HP, and the objective of the game is to reduce your opponent's HP down to 0. Now then, another thing to note, there is 2 different types of cards. You have these ship cards like what I just played here, as well as this station type card up here. Now, ship cards, once you've played them, they are only in effect for the turn that you play them, i.e. once I finish this turn, into which I'll purchase this trade bot here. Once I finish this turn, these cards will then be put into my discard pile. My discard pile is where the trade bot just went to. And unlike in most other games, discard pile isn't permanent and it isn't a thing that cards just go into and you won't really see them ever again unless you like have a resurrection ability or something. No. Once your discard pile is full and your deck in itself is empty, your discard pile is then shuffled, and then your discard pile becomes your deck. So that facilitates the deck building aspect. Now, I will end this turn by attacking him, by removing his authority. That's what health is called in this game. And I shall end my turn. Please note that I'm also wasting one trade. I do not have anything to buy up here that is worth one trade, so I am currently wasting that. Oh, got a very good hand. So it's my turn once again. I shall simply play all my cards. Don't really think I have anything to worry about there. And I think I will buy the hive here. You tend to want to buy the highest value cards possible, as you want to build a deck that's really, really strong but has a very low amount of cards in it. And a way you can facilitate that is by getting cards that have scrapping on it, i.e. see this supply bot up here. When I play it, I may scrap a card in my hand or discard pile. What scrapping does is remove that card from play entirely. It doesn't go into the discard pile, it removes it from your deck and or removes it from your hand, so you don't have to worry about it anymore. And what this does is allow you to remove the weak cards, such as this scout, and allow your deck to be pumped up more fully with the bigger cards. It doesn't mean there's like a limit to how many cards you have in a deck or discard pile or anything. It's just you tend to want to have a small deck with very powerful cards, so you can play those powerful cards more often. Now, I shall end my turn and we shall see what my opponent will do. Another thing to take note of is that there are different factions in this game. There are 4 in total. You've got the Federation, or Trade Federation I should say, which are the blue cards. You've got red cards, which are the Machine Cult, green card, which are the Blob, which are sort of like this xenomorph, alien, organic sort of thing. And then you have the Empire ships, as well as these neutral cards like the Scouts and the Explorers. They don't have a faction at all. And what factions are, is it facilitates a different way of comboing. I think I'm going to grab this at Embassy Yacht. It's a very powerful card, especially when you get to late game. Oh, damn. Stealth Needle's a really good card as well. Different, attack face. If you play in one turn a number of cards that belong to the same faction, if they have a faction ability, i.e. if I played this machine base here and this missile bot here on the same turn, the missile bot would activate this ability, and then because I have another machine cult ship in play, it'll then gain this ability down here, as denoted by the little faction icon here. Now, I'll play my station up here. Something to note, stations remain in play. I don't know if I mentioned that to you before. They do not expire at the end of the turn, and there are two types of stations. You have the outpost type stations, which are denoted by the outpost little thing there, as well as their icon in the bottom right being black, and the normal stations, which don't have this outpost denotion there and are white. What that means is that these black ones function kind of like minions with taunt in Hearthstone, whereas these cards here, they function like, well, a normal minion in Hearthstone, having 5 HP, although it's not really HP per se. It means you need to have that amount of damage in order to take it down. If you have 4, you cannot destroy it or even damage it. It has to be all or nothing sort of thing. So I'll put this trade bot down, which means I'll then be able to scrap a card from my discard pile, thinning my deck out and allowing me to play the more bulky cards more often. And I think I'll grab the Stealth Needle. Although, the Recycling Station's really good. What the recycling Station allows you to do is to mill through your own deck really quickly, which is a great thing to do, especially to get rid of all these crapper cards and hopefully get some better cards. Not really useful late game, but it's amazing early game. As you can see, the station stayed out while the other cards went into the discard pile. Okay, discard. My opponent played a card that forces me to discard cards, or a card in this case, so I think I'm going to get rid of this. No, I think I'll actually get rid of the Scout, since I don't have anything of 3 cost that I can buy up there. So now I'll grab this Missile Bot, attack face, and I think I'll end my turn. Now, this is a game that I've played many, many hours of. It's great to have on the phone or on a tablet or something you'd play on a bus, as the games aren't too long, as well as it's very easy to get into and it's very easy to finish games and stuff. That wasn't very well articulated. Ooh, good combo right here. I'm going to mill through my deck at a ridiculous pace. Before I do that though, I should probably discard this. And then start milling. This game has a excellent amount of replayability in it. It makes me keep on coming back more and more to play it. It's got this randomized element. The center of the board here is always random. You don't know how each game is going to play out. You don't know what card you're going to get. And in particular, when you get to pull off the really, really big combos, it is... Oh, is there anything 6 I need to get? Oh yeah, there is. I won't scrap. Do not use. As you can see there, a ally combo was just pulled off there. And I'll hopefully get this Battle Blob. Yes, that's a good addition. A little bit of something to note though. This game is, as you can already pretty much tell, very much luck based. If you draw a card from here and it was a bit subpar, whilst it reveals a really, really powerful card that the opponent can then afford, you're really screwed. Like, for instance, if I had just picked up something that... If I could have picked up this Mothership, but it was hidden by another card, and picking that card meant I could no longer afford this Mothership, whereas he could. It's that amount... Oh god, there's 2. Need to discard 2. Oh, I think I can survive without dealing damage this turn. Just play that and grab a Survey Ship. So this game's a lot about luck mitigation, like in playing poker. You want to maneuver the odds to be in your favor rather than playing out strategically and tactically like you would in other games. You want to make sure that you have as many cards in your deck that allows you to get around the fact that there is a lot of luck based in this, i.e. cards that have card draw in them are generally better than the cards that do not have card draw. Like if I had another 6 cost card that allow me to draw naturally, like there's one of the Federation ships that has the draw on the normal use rather than being a required faction ability. Cards that have a lot of draw really facilitate this, and it really allows you to mill through your own deck, put a lot of damage on the board. Ooh, this is very good. Yes, this is going to be really powerful. So, if you're looking for a deep strategic game, you're not going to find it here. There are a lot of chances that a absolute scrub will beat you at this game, even if you've put in hours upon hours of work into getting good at it, per se. Which is quite unlike other games like Hearthstone, in particular because you do not build your deck beforehand. You're entirely reliant upon your luck and what you draw, and the luck of what's on the board at the time versus what the opponent can pull out. Damn. One station short of a good hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can say, oh yes. Get rid of the Viper. And get rid of another scout. Do I want that? Defense center would be excellent. Good defensive and offensive weapon. There are definitely some cards that are just stand out, you must get as soon as possible before the enemy gets. Like the Federation command ship, which is an 8 cost card but has 2 card draw on it that doesn't require the faction bonus to be triggered, is ridiculously strong. That's the sort of card that once you get, it's very likely that you're going to win the game. And the trade embassy ship, that's another card that you genuinely want, because late game you have a lot of these stations built up, and you can have like ridiculous amount of stations on the field at once, and as such you will want to have it, if not for your late game, but to prevent the opponent from having that devastating late game himself. I think I'll pick up another recycling station just to deny it from him. So denying the enemy different cards is also another factor that you have to look into in this game when playing. So it's not devoid of skill oh god, this is... oh... that hurt. That hurt very much. Let's see. Actually... let's see what we can pull out though. Ooh, excellent. I might be able to kill him this turn. Yep. GG. I think I'll play another game as well. As you can already notice, like, the music's just kicked up in the background again. The sound design in the game isn't particularly spot on. There's only one song, and as such it can grate on your nerves a bit, but I haven't run into that problem as such. But it's definitely a factor to look into, as well as the fact that, like, attacking really only does one sound effect, trade only has one sound effect. There's really only one sound for each specific aspect of this game. There's no variety there, and it doesn't have the same level of quality that say, Hearthstone has. So if you're looking for a game that has high production values and high graphical assets, this is definitely not the sort of game for you. Speaking of, though, on mobile versions this is definitely different, but the game has this sort of hand-drawn / painted aesthetic to the cards. It's not very high fidelity, and it doesn't have this sort of, what am I saying, like hand-painted. It's this low fidelity sort of RTS unit look to the cards. There's nothing really special going on. I mean, it does all the job and everything, but it's not really anything special. It definitely has a good theme going on, mind you. The sci-fi theme is definitely one of the stronger points. It definitely definitely sticks to that sci-fi aesthetic. Oh, now here's a choice. Very good forecast cards here, but I think I'll take the Freighter. That's a very good card to get early game. Again, there are some cards that are just flat out better to get, although late game, if I had to choose between a Freighter or a Stealth Needle, I'd probably pick the Needle, but I don't know, maybe I'm just downplaying the game, even though I love the game. Like, I've played so many hours and sunk so much of my life into playing this, it's pretty ridiculous. Oh, I get the Freighter on the next turn as well. Oh, I can pick up the Needle. Oh, this is just a good start. Thank you. Oh, so many good early cards. Ah! Another thing to note, because you don't have to buy anything, like there's no in-app purchases or anything, it makes the game a pure joy to play. One of the problems I had in Hearthstone is I really didn't like the lack of variety in cards that I got. I would have to play like the, oh god, no, what is it called? It's the one where you, build a random deck from a set of 3 cards. I can't remember it for the life of me. But I played that mostly when I was playing Hearthstone, just for the sheer fact that I could actually play with... Ooh, got a bunch of cards here. And I can play with all the cards and I wasn't restricted to what I could and could not afford. And in that respect, this game, from letting you play with all the cards without having it locked behind a pay or a time wall, is just excellent. This whole deck building system gives an amazing amount of replayability. I think I'm just rounding on about the same points here. The amount of replayability in this game is ridiculous. Like, this is the free version, and I'm just fighting against easy AI, but even then, I'm just very happy in doing so. I haven't played against any opponents as of yet. I haven't actually run into anyone that I feel like playing it with. But the amount of value for your money, or even value for your lack of money, is... Hold on. Don't make any rash decisions here. There we go. The amount of value for money that you get from buying, or even just trying this game, is phenomenal. I highly recommend, even if you're like slightly interested in this, get the free version, play it for a while, play the little bit of the campaign, and trust me, it will be worth your time. Even if it isn't, then you haven't really lost any money over it, so I can heartily recommend at least trying this game out too. Now, as for the future of this game, there is actually a planned expansion coming up. At least to the physical version of the game. I haven't actually seen that though. I have seen the physical version being played, and I think there is some of the expansions coming to a store close to me, but I haven't really gotten to see them yet. But it adds a lot of variety to this game. It doesn't add any new factions, but it adds different types of cards, like events that affect the way the game flows, different cards that do different sorts of things, different stations. There are even like little hero units that affect the way you play the game and such. And I'm sure that it's going to be implemented, even if it isn't at this stage, but oh god, it didn't even use that. Oh damn. This is what happens when I'm not concentrating too well. I'll just get that anyways. Oh no. If I would have done that, that would have been an excellent turn. So you can still fuck up in this game. It is still quite possible. Oh, he didn't actually get to attack. Lucky me. Definitely gonna mill though. Ooh, should I? Definitely mill those two then. Acquire the yacht. And survey ship. Oh, excellent. Anything I do that? Yes. So there is a bit of a... not enough. There is a future to this game if you're interested in that. And the expansion, surprisingly, isn't about booster packs or anything. When you purchase the expansion, at least for the card version, it's complete. You get all the cards that are in that specific part of the expansion. There is, of course, multiple parts of the expansion, but I actually kind of don't mind the fact that they've split the expansion into booster packs or sorts. It's not like booster packs. It's not like a random assortment. You know what you're getting when you buy these cards, and as such, because these different expansion sets per se facilitate different aspects of adding to the game, you have, when you're buying them, you buy certain add-ons that you might like. You don't have to buy the entire expansion to get some things you don't really think you would enjoy playing with. So I actually don't mind the fact that they split it up like that. I guess you could say even... yeah. I would even prefer that. It's... oh damn. Could have gotten something good for that. Oh well. I actually don't mind that business model, and I would highly prefer if a lot of card games in the future would follow this business model, as it would make playing cards, at least for me, a lot more rewarding and a lot more interesting experience. I think that about, oh god, 2 cards I get to draw. Damn, why did I just do that? Ah, oh, yeah, I just keep fucking up. I think I've got all my points across anyways. So this game is available on PC, Android, iOS, and everything in between really. It's quite a multi-platform game, and there is also the physical version of the card game if that is your thing. Ooh, very good card. So there is something for everyone. This game definitely facilitates that. The guys behind this game were definitely filling an amazing niche in the card game genre when they made this game. Anyways, I think I'll finish this game, but I will leave links to where you can buy the game in the description below. If you could leave any comments as to how I can improve making these videos, or even share if you perhaps wanted to, that would be greatly appreciated. Anyways, my name is Confused Panda, and I will see you guys next time.